Hi, welcome back. So in this lesson, let's learn about introduction to testing process. So before we understand what is testing process, let us think about this issue. So traditionally, testing has been pushed to the end of software development lifecycle, and which leaves little room for organizations to make critical changes at that time. And today, agile and DevOps based software engineering actually is dramatically changing the nature of testing and also test management. So according to you, what do you think are the correct statements below about the evolving nature of test management? So think along with me and say whether the below statement is true or false. Hope you understood the context. So the test management, typically testing is pushed towards the end of the software development, but the new software engineering approaches such as agile and DevOps, they are changing the test management dramatically, test management as well as test management skills. So what do you think? So the first point is QA is not considered a very critical component in DevOps. True or false? What do you think? QA is not considered a very critical component in DevOps. In fact, DevOps, the real whether DevOps makes or breaks actually extremely depends on the quality of testing and the new type of testing that we perform. So today in Agile and DevOps, we are talking about continuous integration, continuous delivery, continuous deployment. But all if these things have to be successful, we have to master and build expertise around what we call continuous testing. So this statement is false. You are right. QA is considered very critical component in DevOps. It is not. QA is not considered a very critical component in DevOps. So please keep that in mind. So the second statement, let's read. DevOps must aim to involve QA and test management throughout the entire process, making them a facilitator of quality. Agree or not? Yes, you are right. So DevOps actually expects QA and test management throughout the entire process. So actually testing has been pushed or shifted left in the Agile and DevOps kind of engineering. So let's look at the third point. Test management enables DevOps teams to better collaborate for faster delivery and agile support. But these benefits also inherently lead to improved quality across projects. Yes or no? Yes, you are right. It is a true statement. So let's look at the fourth point. So it is not important for test managers to consider the different software development life cycles as well as the type of system being tested. Do you think it is true or a false statement? Let me read it again. It is not important for test managers to consider the different software development life cycles as well as the type of system being tested. No, it is a false statement, because you have to, as a test manager, tweak your testing process to facilitate a particular system that is being tested, and also most importantly the software engineering life cycle that you are engaged with. So these are very important. So with this in mind, let us try to introduce the testing process for test managers. So at the foundation level, earlier we have talked about what we call the fundamental test process. We have learned, and in that we talked the testing process as a group of activities, and the higher level activity that is called test planning, monitoring and control. And we always talked about test planning, monitoring and control as an umbrella activity which gives shade to the rest of the activities that happen within the software project. The second activity is what we term as test analysis and design, where the test engineers will understand the testing requirements and identify test conditions and then design test cases. And having done that, they will implement those test cases and execute them in the third activity. That's what we call test implementation and execution. And followed by that, evaluating exit criteria and reporting. So we pause after certain amount of test execution and we will evaluate all the metrics and we'll check whether have we met the exit criteria or not, and then we go forward. And the last activity in the fundamental test process is test closure activity. Test closure activities, if it is, we have met the exit criteria properly. But if we have not met the exit criteria, we will go back and do more test analysis and design, and also write more test cases and continue to execute till we meet the exit criteria. That is how we have defined our fundamental test process. So at a advanced test manager level, same syllabus will have to be taught, but we will talk with little bit of difference. So as we talked in the fundamental test process, all these activities, though they have been mentioned in a sequential way, but they can be executed, they can be exercised in a concurrent way. So the same fundamental test process can be applied in a waterfall type of SDLC as well as the agile DevOps kind of SDLC. That's what we have learned in the foundation level. So in the advanced level, what we will do is that we will look at each of these activities with little bit of more granularity. So the test planning, monitoring, control, a very important aspect for a test manager, but the rest of the activities, we divide test analysis as one activity, followed by test design. So we have brought more granularity. Earlier we talked about them as test analysis and design. Now we have divided them into two separate tasks, and with more granular approach we will look into each of these tasks. Then we talked about test implementation and execution in the foundation level, but in the advanced level, test implementation is one task and test execution to build that granularity, and then evaluating exit criteria and reporting, and if we meet the criteria, we close the testing project. If not, we will go back and do further test analysis, further test design, further test implementation and test execution. That is how we talked. And again, though we are projecting them to be sequential, but they can be sequential or concurrent. So from an advanced test manager syllabus point of view, or also from a test manager point of view, which of these tasks are more critical? And test planning and monitoring and control, this is a very important concern for a test manager, and also evaluating exit criteria and reporting and test closure activities, they are very important concern for test manager. So we will spend more time understanding with more level of detail in this syllabus. And again, as I mentioned earlier, activities may be sequential or concurrent. So hope you understood the way we are going to learn the test process part of the syllabus in our advanced test manager certification course. So let us, before concluding this lesson, let us answer this question to check your understanding. So already we studied in our fundamental test process at foundation level about a certain task that will be performed across the test process. So here in the right hand side of your screen, I have given you 5 such tasks. What you have to do is that you have to keep them in the right sequence of occurrence. So think about it and tell me. So we have on the right side, we have deciding if more tests are required, creating test procedures, establishing exit criteria, executing tests, reporting unexpected results. These are the tasks that performed across the 5 activities of fundamental test process. According to the order and the way they occur in a real testing project, which one is the first? What do you think? Yes, you are right. Establishing exit criteria. This is the first task that will be performed, because establishing exit criteria that happens at the time of test planning. Then in this next 4, what will follow the establishing exit criteria? Will you decide if more tests are required, or will you start creating test procedures, or will you start executing tests, or you report unexpected results? Yes, you are right, you will create test procedures. That is the second in order as per our fundamental test process. So what is third in order? So after having completed your test procedures, yes, you will execute tests. You are right. Then as you execute, what happens? You may experience some unexpected results, so you will report them. Then based on the exit criteria, what you will do if more tests are required? Yes, you are right. So this is the order in which the tasks will occur in our fundamental test process. So soon in the next lesson, we will talk about each of the activities of the fundamental test process as per the advanced test manager syllabus, and stay tuned for those videos. So hope you have enjoyed this session. So before we move on, let's quick recap on what we have learned. So what we talked here, testing is an important part of software development, and like development, testing is not a single process or activity, but a set of processes and activities. That's what we talked when we talked about fundamental test process. The second point is there are many different ways of structuring the development and testing process based on the SDLC model. If it is a concurrent process model, we can tweak the testing process to suit the concurrent nature of the SDLC model. The third point we talked is the activities of test planning, monitoring and control, evaluating exit criteria and reporting, and test closure. They are all of particular concern to the test manager. There we will put more emphasis in the subsequent lessons. So hope you have enjoyed this session. So learn and have fun.